If you're from Orange County, you've probably heard the term Anacrime. Ugh, I hate that term so much. I live here, I love it here. But Anaheim does get such a bad rep sometimes. It actually is not the best place to live for everyone. So in this video, I'm gonna share the top reasons why maybe you should not move to Anaheim. As I said, I love it here, I live here, but I thought it would be a great time to share with you if you're interested in making the move here. And I tried to make this video a little less subjective with my own opinion and give you actual supported facts and stats about Anaheim. So let's get into it. First on the list is traffic. So Anaheim does experience some pretty significant traffic congestion during peak hours, you know, the 9 a.m. traffic, the 5 p.m. traffic, but also during events like at Angel Stadium, Honda Center, Disneyland, or even the convention center. Lots of conferences come to town, so we got a lot of people coming in. One of the big reasons for the traffic congestion is because of the amount of tourists that Anaheim receives every year. We are a tourist city. So over 25 million tourists come to visit Anaheim every single year, which adds greatly to the traffic on the road. And only about 27% of Anaheim residents work in the city of Anaheim. The rest commute out while tens of thousands commute in and tens of thousands more commute through, making for some practically apocalyptic rush hours.
Well, you know why? This is a traffic jam.
Even though Anaheim is super convenient, I mean, we've got freeways all around us. On the weekends and busy times during the week and when events are around, it's just going to experience traffic, and that's just something you can't avoid. However, through living here, you kind of learn the streets and routes that kind of go around that traffic. So once you kind of figure out what those streets are, it does help your commute. And also using Waze helps me too. And number two would be cost of living. From a local Orange County perspective, Anaheim is actually gonna be one of the more affordable options here, but nationwide, it is going to be significantly more expensive to live here than other states, even other counties here in California. But I know tons of people relocate here for the wonderful attractions, you know, like Disney. The wonderful attractions that we have, and so the cost of living is just gonna be a little bit higher for these people that wanna make the jump to move here to closer to all those attractions. So let's talk housing. The median home price, according to Zillow, in Anaheim is $870,000, and the national average is $354,000. So that's a gigantic difference. But the median home price in Orange County is $1.175 million currently. So as I mentioned before, we are significantly higher than the national average, but as far as Orange County as a whole, we are on more of the affordable side. And just to give you an example of the rental market, a 1-bedroom average is gonna be about $2,000 a month, while the national average is around $1,500. So yes, you are gonna pay more for a 1-bedroom. And I'll be honest, $2,000 a month is a little more difficult to find these days. And grocery prices in Anaheim are generally higher than the national average, of course, due to transportation costs, higher demand in certain areas. We've got a pretty populated city. So a typical grocery bill for a family of 4 might range from about $500 to $800 a month, of course, depending on your shopping habits and dietary preferences. I know that's probably my bill for the month for one person. I love food, so that's why. For utilities, it's pretty comparable to the national average of what people pay monthly, but for the city of Anaheim, you do get a break on electricity since we have our own private electric company. But anyway, your utilities every month are gonna average probably around $150, $200 total for everything. The last thing I want to throw in there, of course, is gas prices, because gas prices are through the roof. This is California, and we have very high taxes for gas specifically. But anyway, this is no news to anybody already living in Orange County or Southern California. But for those of you looking to make the move here, average price per gallon is going to be around $5 to $5.50 a gallon. You know, at least to alleviate some of those costs, Anaheim does have some really great local transportation options that are free and low cost for residents. So just keep that in mind, but gas prices are expensive here. I hope you're sitting down for this because we're gonna talk about crime. So we looked at niche.com, and the crime rates there rate Anaheim on a C- scale for safeness. But it's also interesting to see what people actually think about living here. So check out this poll. So the poll asks, how safe do you feel in this area? 57% of people said pretty safe. There's some safety concerns, but I generally feel safe. 28% say somewhat safe. There are noticeable safety concerns, and there are times I don't feel safe. Very safe, there are no safety concerns. Most of the people feel pretty safe. And honestly, it really just depends on where you live in Anaheim. Another great poll that they asked was how effective is law enforcement in this area? And if you live in Anaheim, you pretty much just love Anaheim PD. They're awesome. 43% of people said the police are very visible and very responsive. And this is so true. It's very easy to see cop cars around the streets, patrolling around. And of course, they are very responsive if there is a big issue happening. Oh my God, I remember this one day. Oh, I have to tell you this story. This one day, I was walking my dogs, and all of a sudden, I just see cops just booking it down the street. And this is like a residential area, right? They were booking it down the street so fast, 20 cops or something like it. It was insane, just so many, and they were just booking it. But we found out later on, of course, all those neighbors tried to figure it out, that there was a car stolen, and they were chasing after the thief and found them in the neighboring community. It was just so cool to see that kind of response from Anaheim PD. So they are on it. So they don't want any of that in their city. So let's get back into more stats, okay? No more of my stories, all right? The overall crime rate in Anaheim is about 11.3% higher than the state average and 22% higher than the national average. So although the numbers are a bit higher than the state and national average, it is important to note that most of the crime is kind of concentrated in a few small areas, and there are just so many places in Anaheim with a lot of tourist activity, so the crime rate will naturally be a little bit higher in those areas. I do want to say that I've lived in Anaheim for quite some time now, and I've never experienced or witnessed any kind of crime where I live. I found it for myself to be a pretty safe place to live. That was something very important to me when I was buying back in the day. But I did include in this list due to the fact that Anaheim does kind of get that bad rep. But if you are interested in learning more about crime rates in Anaheim, be sure to check out crime mapping online and see if that area is the right one for you. We're gonna just piggyback on the last topic, and we're gonna talk about the homeless population here in Anaheim. It's been a hot topic lately, and well, the city of Anaheim has about 1,400 homeless in the city, which is actually number 2 in the highest number of homeless population here in Orange County, just behind Santa Ana. You can see much of the homeless population tends to reside around the Anaheim resort area, since of course that's where tourism is and the hub is basically. Anywhere around Orange County, you'll see unhoused people, even in places as nice as Newport Beach. It's just around, but don't think of it as something like Skid Row. We don't have that kind of problem here. In fact, the city of Anaheim spends about $60 million a year to address homelessness in the city, and we've actually seen about a 30% decrease in people living in homelessness in the last 3 years. And speaking of homeless, this is another one of the homeless population, or used to be. So this is Ginger. She was a dog that was rescued from the street, and we adopted her about a year ago. And this is like my favorite little homeless girl that has had her little dream home and dream life come true. And I also have Toby. You've seen Toby. He was also a homeless street dog here in Anaheim as well. So it's kind of my thing to rescue the homeless. Lastly is the education system. So people moving to Anaheim don't typically move here because of the top-rated schools. If you want the top-rated schools, that's Irvine and Tustin. That's where people typically will go. There's other areas as well. But anyway, getting back to Anaheim, there's 3 different school districts here in Anaheim. There's Anaheim Elementary School District, Anaheim Union High School District, and also the Magnolia Elementary School District. I do want to mention that there are schools located in Anaheim that will fall under other school districts like Orange Unified, Placentia, Garden Grove, Centralia, and Savannah. For example, East Anaheim schools not in Anaheim school districts will fall under Orange, and Placentia Unified or maybe West Anaheim schools might fall under Garden Grove, Centralia, or Savannah Unified. Anaheim Elementary School District is located in West Anaheim in the downtown and resort area of Anaheim. So it has about 24 schools in this district, so it's pretty big. The score for the entire district is rated about a 3 out of 10 according to Great Schools and compared to other California schools. So testing scores are about 10% lower than the state average as well. Anaheim Union High School District is located throughout Anaheim and has 21 schools in this district. The score in this district district is about 5 out of 10, of course, compared to other California schools, with testing scores being pretty much on par with state averages. But the last school district in Anaheim is Magnolia, and that is located in West Anaheim. There's about 9 schools in it, and this district is a little bit higher. It receives about a 7 out of 10 compared to the other California schools, with testing scores being about 10% better than the state average. So with that being said about schools, if schools are important to you about the place that you move to in Anaheim, then I'm gonna highly recommend checking out greatschools.org and see where those schools are rated within your specific area. It's also a great idea to talk to the principals at those schools, or maybe some parents that have kids that go to that school, because not every school is really rated properly. You've got to check it out yourself if that is an important factor for you. Like, for example, there's a school right by me. It's not rated that great on Great Schools, but all the parents that send their kids there love it. They have a Korean immersion program, and I think also a Spanish immersion program. And to immerse your kids in language early on is definitely the way to go. I wish that my Spanish was a little bit better. Gracias para... No, I'm kidding. Anyway, I hope this video was really helpful for you. And honestly, I love Anaheim. I love living here. I have no qualms about it. It's a great place to live. If you have questions about Anaheim and want to have a conversation about figuring out where exactly you want to be in the city, I would love to connect with you. So feel free to text me. My contact info is listed in the description below, and you can also head over to my channel and check out more videos on Anaheim. But I look forward to connecting with you, and I guess we'll see you real soon on the next time.